What is up, everybody? I hope you all are having a fabulous week so far as we're rolling through the middle of the week. I've been getting a lot of questions about the GhostCats. I've been getting a lot of questions about accessories for GhostCats. I did a video about that as well, the top 3 accessories under $30, talking about grips, talking about pedals, talking about a lock. But one of the biggest questions I've been getting, is there a rack for the GhostCats? That's the F3, the F3X Pro, and the F4X Pro that's coming out in April. Is there a rack for these? Well, the good news is GhostCat is under development. I just got through talking to the owners. They are coming out with a rack. They are working on one right now. That's the good news. The bad news is they don't have one yet, and I need a rack because I'm running errands, going to the grocery store and doing all those things. So until GhostCat comes out with their own rack, I did find a rack that works, that fits. Not only one, I found several racks that fit. And if you like racks, whether they're big, medium, or small like I do, I like all racks. Come along, I'm gonna show you the rack that I bought for the GhostCat F3X Pro. I'm gonna install it. I'm gonna give you some tidbits of advice when I was on the search for mine, just to save you the trouble and the headache from buying the wrong rack for you. So let's go on. Let's look at the rack that I bought, let's install it, and let's talk about racks. And hold on to the very end because I've got some really good news for you. Let's go. All right, so this is the rack that I bought off of Amazon. As you can see, it comes in 3 pieces. Here's the main piece right here. Seems like some really decent metal. And then there's like the little bars, the little side bars that hook on, and it's labeled, right. And then a nail for left there. So it's pretty good. It comes with all the hardware and tools you need. I may not be using these mounting bolts here because the bike itself already has the mounting bolts, but I will be using some thread lock installing these just to give it a secure feel. But it feels like a really nice, decent aluminum frame. It feels sturdy and lightweight, and it looks like it's gonna fit, so hopefully it fits. So let's get on the install of the rack for the GhostCat F3X Pro. All right, so the first thing I'll be doing is I'll be removing the factory bolts that are right here and putting on, for example, this is the right side arm right here. So you can see where I have a little bit of adjustment, and I was talking about that at the beginning. So when you're searching on the internet for it or whatever, if it fits the Super 73Z, the Super 73S, more than likely it's going to fit this because it's the same bolt pattern. I do like it if they adjust here. That's what I went with. I went with something that just has a little bit of leanway and adjusts so you don't have to drill or anything, which is really, really cool. So we're going to install this. Something I want you all to keep in mind too is you can see it's got like a little angle here. So when I do the install here, it's going to have a little angle here, and what that does is you could either have the rack, just tilting straight, or have it at a slight angle where it levels out and kind of levels out with the seat a little bit more. And we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're going to take these bolts out, and we're going to attach the right arm and the left arm for this rack, and then we're going to attach the main rack and see if it fits and see how it works. Pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to take these 2 bolts out here, and I'm going to put on the right arm to the rack. And these come out really easy. That's also why I want to put just a little bit of blue Loctite on everything, because it's going over bumps and rattles and whatnot. I think it's a really good idea to have some Loctite. Hope everybody is having an awesome week as we're rolling through the middle of the week here. Let's put a little dab of Loctite on there, not too much. Don't want to overdo it where it's too difficult to take off. If we need to adjust it later on or whatever. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to try to get both of these arms pretty even. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it all the way forward. I'll put a little dab of Loctite on here too. A little dab of do. Just make sure that we get sure you get in the holes. And don't tighten everything up all the way. Don't torque everything up, just so it fits better as we're attaching more of these bolts and putting it together. It will just go together better, and then at the very end, you could go through and tighten everything back up. Kind of slide them all the way forward. See how it's still loose like that? That way when I'm finishing it up and getting everything just totally tweaked, it's going to line up. I'm not going to have anything off or anything weird. I'll take these out. I'm just using the factory bolts. This kit that I got did come with bolts, but I'm just using the factory. That way I just know the threads are perfect and all that good jazz. So I'll put a little bit of dab of Loctite on there. And this would be the left side. Just make sure you have it where the L is correct. That way it'll line up with your rack. Go ahead and finger tighten this one too. It's been great here. The weather's been phenomenal the last few days. We've been in the 50s since, I don't know, since like Friday. Sunny. Could use a little bit more snow here in ski country, but rolling into April, I have no problem at all with the sunshine. We got plenty of snow this winter, so the slopes are stacked right now. So we'll at least get into closing weekend and closing day here in Vail. And that'd be really fun. Beaver Creek is right next door to them, in between both ski resorts, which is really neat. This enables me to go to whichever ski resort I feel like. Even like Aspen's just, 45-minute drive really. Okay, now that we got the right arm and the left arm of the rack on, we're gonna put the main part of the rack on. As you can see, it fits perfectly. Now, these little notches right here, depending on which notch you put that bolt in, is going to raise it or lower it. So I want it more lower so it's not all stink bugged up. That's stink bugged. So it's not all stink bugged up. I'm just going to put it in this lower this lower notch where it just kind of evens it out with the seat. And whatever cargo or whatever you're having too, it's going to be very advantageous to have it level instead of have a tilt too. That way nothing's sliding. Even if you have it bungeed on or whatever, it's a good idea to have it level. So see how this fits? It looks like it lines up. Actually really, really nice. And like I said, we're going to put it so it's not all stink bugged up like this. This is how it would be if I just put it on straight. But since it's got two holes here, I'm able to actually lower it and bring this seat in a more level ground so we're not all stinky bugged. All right. So it does come with like a little wrench here to hold the nut. And of course it does come with the Allen wrench too to screw in the bolt. And I'll kind of show you what we got here. We've got a locking nylon nut and a nice bolt here that I'm gonna use the Allen wrench on. I'm still gonna put just a little dab of Loctite on these two, just to make sure that we good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Loctite on those real quick. Like I said, just a little dab here, just a little dab. That's all you need, just a little bit, just a little bit. There, we'll line up these holes. All right, and then we'll put our locking nut on the other side of that. And I'm just gonna get everything just kind of finger tight right now on these. All right, we'll grab another one. We've already pre-Loctited these bolts, and you could see where you could raise it or lower it. This would be all stink bugged out, but when we put it lower like this, it levels out so nicely. And it's really cool that GhostCat has a system where you could get just a lot of accessories and a lot of options. It's another reason to love GhostCat, is you could get a lot of cool accessories and make it your own, like I've done with the handle grips. You could take the handle grips on and off of this bike easy if you want to change the color. The ones they come with are great. It's just, you know, I got big freaking hands, man, and it's nice to have a big fatty grip for my big fatty hands. All right. But yeah, the weather was great this week. Did a bunch of snowboarding with my buddy Armando. He's got an engraving business. If you're into that kind of stuff. If you need anything engraved, like, you know, whether it's like a Yeti water bottle or some trophies or something cool, my buddy Armando can hook you up. I'll leave a link to his engraving business website in the description below. You could check out what he does. He does some really good work. Okay, so we've got it basically all finger tightened on our rack. You can see there, we got everything finger tightened. Now I'm just going to go back and just tighten everything up, and we'll see how it looks. I mean, I'm digging it though. I'm digging it. All right, as you can see here, they come with like a really nice little wrench for the nut, and of course just using an Allen wrench here to tighten our rack down. So get it all nice and snug, and we'll see how it looks. I'm digging it. It looks really, really good. Which is a big reason I use Loctite too, is I just like the security factor that stuff isn't going to come loose. I really like that. There we go, a couple more turns. There's that. And I am tightening these pretty good. I don't plan on taking these bolts ever off the rack, so that's more of a permanent fixture there. And then these, as you can see here, I've slid these just all the way to the closest position just to close the gap right here and bring the rack in here. You could slide it out and give you a little bit more, you know, a little bit of space here, maybe a little bit more room out to here or whatever on your rack. But I just want mine a little bit more snug. And what I'm kind of noticing, just how this rack is fitting, it's almost going to look like it's going to be like a mud guard kind of deal right here, and keep some of this mud from splashing up on the back too. I mean, it's got the holes here, but you get the idea. It might be actually working, because this right here, this mud guard that's down at the bottom, that protects like your suspension and, you know, the back side of your battery, obviously. But as far as protecting mud and water splashing, no. All right, well, tighten these last two up here. And then we'll see how it looks mounted. Now, I do have a really solid review, a total, just all-around review of this bike coming up. There it is, looking good. Look at that. Oh, that looks good. Look at that. That looks freaking really good. Like, nice rack, man. Nice rack. But what I really liked about this rack was you just had a lot of areas that you could attach bungees and straps, put things on. I really, really enjoy that. I also got the crate, got a milk crate over here. Let me grab it just to see if it would fit. And I imagine with some, like, you know, some Velcro straps or some cam straps or any kind of strap that would secure that. I mean, that's a lot of extra right there. I mean, that's a big load. I mean, that's a 16-quart crate that you could just strap on there. It'd be super easy to do it with zip ties or Velcro straps or whatever. I think it'd be super, super easy to mount that. You could even do it permanently with like U-bolts or something. But you get the idea. Pretty freaking cool, huh? Oh man, that's the rack for the GhostCat F3X Pro that I found, and there's many more. So if you find a rack that works with Super 73 Z model or the S models, more than likely, they're gonna line up with that right there. Okay, they're gonna line up with these two bolts. Now the trick is, be sure that you get something that's adjustable and can tilt, because you can see how GhostCat has this angle here, and then how I flatten out the rack because I have the option of having the rack at this angle or flatten it out. Be sure whatever rack that you find, and I'll leave a link to the one that I got, that you could adjust this and make it flat, just so it's not all stink bugged up, unless you're okay with that. But I really like the way that rack looks. It looks really good. What a cool freaking e-bike accessories. New rack, new pedals, new lock, new grips. I really like that lock. That lock is really cool. Looking good. The GhostCat F3X Pro, I'll leave a link below to GhostCat and all their awesome bikes. The F4x is coming out in April. I suggest you get it now. Use my discount code Colorado at the checkout so you can save another $50. It helps me, it helps the channel, but most of all, it helps you. Accessories for the GhostCats. Stay tuned on our next adventure, because I've got a little announcement I'm gonna make about accessories for GhostCats. It's a good one. It's gonna benefit me, it's gonna benefit you, it's gonna benefit the whole industry. To our next adventure as we do the full review on the GhostCat F3X Pro here in Colorado.